Well, guys, I didn't actually think I was going to review this movie, like, in a singular video. I thought I might leave this off for a catch-up video, but there's just... I've gotta talk about this film, in the best way I can. This film... Well, I mean, you clicked on the video, so I'm of course talking about the new movie Loqueesha, which is this small, very small budgeted comedy film from Jeremy Saville that just premiered on Amazon Prime. You can get it and watch it for free. And this movie basically took the internet by storm. The trailer was trending on Twitter and basically became very popular, and people were making reaction videos to it. Just so many people were talking about this movie, and it got a lot of publicity, especially because Jeremy Saville actually tagged Marlon Wayans in one of his posts when he shared a picture of him at some red carpet event, basically referring to White Chicks, which is not a good movie. And I guess he's comparing it to this movie that he made. And, well, anyway, I sat down and watched the film. And guys, this is the worst film I have seen this year. Now, a lot of people will, talk about just how cheaply the film is made. I don't have a problem with how cheap it's made because, well, it's definitely a low-budget film, and it's clear that, Jeremy Saville didn't have a lot of money, and for the most part, for a very, very low-budget film, it's fine. It looks very low-budget. It has problems with its cutting, with its editing, with some of its lighting. It is very cheap, but that's not what I have a problem with. And that's what a lot of people didn't have a problem with. A lot of people had a problem with the subject matter of this film, which is, of course, about this guy played by Jeremy Saville, who is the director, writer, and star of the film. And he plays this bartender who is trying to raise money for his son. And so he tries to get on board at a radio station to do a show. And he doesn't get the job. And so he tries to do it again, but pretends to be this woman named Loqueesha, who's, of course, a black woman, and he gets a lot of followers, and he talks like a black woman, and this movie is basically like, if you've ever seen the movie Tootsie, Mrs. Doubtfire, any of those types of movies where somebody's pretending to be somebody else, except we bring race into it, and that is always a touchy subject because, sometimes there's some problems, and this film is pretty racist, but I feel like it's unintentionally racist, which in some ways is even dirtier and just wrong that you didn't realize that this was pretty racist. And the film, guys, it's just so bad. I don't know what to say about it. It's awful. It's really bad. But okay, so yeah, the whole thing with Loqueesha, and she starts getting really popular and giving people advice, and Jeremy Saville talks in this very stereotypical black woman voice that honestly is not very good. He never convinces me that he sounds, particularly like a black woman. It very much just sounds like a grown man trying to sound like a black woman. And the thing about this film, I feel as if I understand what he was trying to do. I think he was trying to make a film with some sort of social commentary involved. Um, I don't know. I don't think he was trying to make a racist film. I do not think that. By watching the film, I don't think he was, I don't think he's racist, but I think he was misguided in what he was trying to do, and I think his script is just awful and just, not good, not funny, and pretty darn racist. Um, and I feel like he just didn't realize it. Which is pretty bad that he didn't realize it. I think he was trying to make something work here. But, and you can make something like this work if you have, the right talent behind writing the script and you're in ways respectful. And I think, you can make something like this work, but you have to do it carefully. And Jeremy Saville just doesn't know how to do this. He's very much an amateur, and it just doesn't work. It comes off as just blatantly racist, and that's what I couldn't get behind with this film. Like, even when, he's trying for something, I feel like. But, oh my gosh, guys, this movie was... First of all, it was boring, and it felt extremely long. It was only an hour and like 38 minutes, but it felt really long. The pacing is just... it's shot. It's pretty bad. It's pretty terrible. And also, just... Oh, well, what else? Okay. There's this part in the film that is just so ridiculous. It's when he starts to believe that he indeed is a black woman inside a white man's body. And he starts talking, and he starts talking to himself. Like, Loqueesha starts talking, and he starts talking, he starts golluming all over the place. And oh my gosh, it's so terrible. It's not funny. It's bad and racist, and I can't believe it. Like, I'm sure he had good intentions with this film. As I said, I feel like, being being like a racist film wasn't like his intention. And I feel like he was trying to do something funny. It just didn't work. I'll say he put in more effort, I feel like, than Tyler Perry. But also, I hate saying it, but Tyler Perry's A Medea Family Funeral was kind of a better movie than this. Like, at least it was a movie. It wasn't a good movie, but I will say, at least it... I don't know if I'll go that far. At least it didn't feel, like, extremely racist. And, like... I don't know how to talk about this. The movie is just... not good, and the acting in it is terrible. The only person that I feel like is honestly having fun in the movie is the writer, director, and lead actor of the movie, Jeremy Saville. I think he's the one having fun in the film, where everybody else is just not good. There's this one actor that is just terrible in the film. He's in a lot of the bar scenes. He's just awful. The acting in this film is terrible. But, like, again, it's a low-budget film. I'm sure a lot of people are not actors, actually. So, I'll forgive that, but I can't forgive just how terrible and misguided this script is. It's just a disaster of a film. Also, like, the movie has a third act that just keeps going and going and going, and it never seems to end. And also at the very end, you can tell they were trying to be a more have some sort of moral to it, but it just gets lost in just the rest of the film, to where like there's really no moral to this movie at all. And also there's one awful part where um so Jeremy Saville's character, he pretends to be Loqueesha, and he doesn't interact with anybody. It's just his voice. And but he hires a black woman to be the actual Loqueesha that people will talk to. And there's a part in the movie where she says, "You're better at being a black woman than I am." It's so bad. So bad. It's almost funny. It's almost funny just how bad this film is, even though I really was not having a good time during this film. It's just crazy that this film actually exists. Like, I'll say this. I feel like I was slightly more entertained in a Medea family funeral than this film. But this film honestly made me more angry than that film, because at least Tyler Perry is charismatic, and the Medea character is completely fine, even though she's not very likable. This film, just nobody's likable in this film. Not even the main character. Nobody. And also, the film, again, talking about its cheapness, kind of, it looks like a full moon movie. If you've ever seen something like, crap, I can't even remember the titles of the movies right now. Anyway, any full moon movie, the film looks like that. It looks very cheap. It looks kind of like a porno at times. Yeah. Also, there's this movie's like rated R, because there's a lot of F-bombs dropped, but actually, like, not as much as you would think, and to the point where, like, there would be an F-bomb every now and then, and I'd be like, oh yeah, this movie's rated R, because the rest of the film doesn't feel like a rated R film at all. It feels very tame until, there's a random F-bomb every now and then, and, like, what else is there to say? Is there anything good to say about the film? I guess I'll commend Jeremy Saville on the fact that, he made such a balls out idea. And I'll commend him for, just what he brings to the table, his enthusiasm throughout, making a film. But that doesn't make it good. I will say there's one joke at the very end of the film that I actually laughed out and thought it was funny. And that is the fact, okay, so there's the twist at the very end of the film for some of the characters that, this guy is actually doing Loqueesha, and they say, it's like a M. Night Shyamalan twist. And Jeremy Saville's character says, oh, yeah, like the Sixth Sense. He says, oh yeah, like the Sixth Sense. Not like any of the others, because those movie twists are lame and terrible and predictable. And I thought that was really, really funny, honestly. It was the only joke I laughed at in the film. So yeah, this movie's bad. It's racist. It's unintentionally racist. I feel like it's a very misguided film. I feel like you could make this type of movie work if you had the right people working on it, and this guy just isn't the person to be making this film. Like, he shouldn't have been making this film. This is not a good film. This is just awful. But I watched it, and I never have to watch it again, so that's good. That's good. I guess I'll give my rating. So I'm gonna give Loqueesha a 2 out of 10. Well, guys, I'm exhausted from this film. I've watched a lot of movies today, and sadly, I ended it on this one, and that breaks my heart. But yeah, don't see Loqueesha unless you just want to. But anyway, guys, that's all I got for you. So, as always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next review.